saying to them,
that's Jesus. Let's go.
go to the village ahead of you, and at once you will find a donkey tied there, with a cord by her. Untie them and bring them to me.
Say, go to the village.
Go to the village.
Now let's go to verse number 10.
When Jesus entered Jerusalem, the whole city was stirred and asked, who is this?
Now, in verse 2, look at what it says in verse 2. Verse 2, he says, go to the village. Say, go to the village.
Go to the village.
Now let's go to verse 10. What he says, verse 10. When Jesus was now sitting on the donkey, they were in the city. Help me to speak to somebody and say, my neighbor.
My neighbor.
Leave the village.
Leave the village.
And go to the city.
And go to the city.
Say, my neighbor.
My neighbor.
If your destiny
was kept
in the village, we are moving you away.
We are moving you away
into the city.
Into the city.
You may be seated in the presence of the living God. Some people might be confused. I want to play very, very sensitive for me now. Yeah, whoever comes, they say to one side, sensitive. Nobody cross the cameraman again. Now, some people might be confused and say, Pastor Daniel, when you say somebody is supposed to leave the village and get to the city, what about those whose hometown is at Osu? If somebody is born at Osu or Teshi or Labadi, they're already in the city of Accra. So how can you say village? Because not everybody who come from Asante region, Volta region, Eastern region. So Pastor Daniel, when you talk about a village, what is a village? Number one, a village represents a place where a person comes from. So if you come from Bronx, New York, it's your village. But to somebody, it's their city. Number two, a place where you stayed most in your childhood. You stayed most in your childhood. The next one, a place where your family background come from. The next one, the location where your umbilical cord, when it was being cut, it was being buried. When they gave birth to you, where they buried it. Also where the placenta was buried. The next one, it represents the place or the town you were born. So if you were born at Kolebu, spiritually it can be your village. Or in other words, it just signifies your source. And everybody in life, as you are moving forward, your source is what can control you. If you know how to determine, control, preserve, protect your source, your future, that's your city, can be well done. Man of God, there are many people who are sitting in the city now, but their destinies are still hidden in the village. What can I know if my destiny is hidden in the village? Number one, example. Number one, when you always dream at least once a month and you are always in your village, it means your destiny is still hidden there. Number two, anytime you dream, you see yourself writing exam, but you are not able to finish the paper. You are writing exam, but whilst you are about to finish, your pen ink ended. Or you knew the answer very well, but you are not able to complete the questions. Or you were writing exam and somebody took away your pen. It means there's an agenda of you for your life to go backwards. Village simply means let your life go backwards. This is the next thing. You always dream and you find yourself waiting at a bus stop. When the car came, everybody entered, you could not enter. You dreamt you find yourself at the airport. You couldn't enter and jump on the plane. You were doing a check-in, but the luggage and the baggage you had, it was plenty, so they told because of that, you cannot fly on the plane. Can I continue? You always dream that you were still young. You are 30, you are 40, you are 50. But anytime you dream, you are still around the age of Akwaketwa, small child. Also, you always dream and you find yourself wearing a school uniform. Still wearing school uniforms. The next one, you dream and you see that your phone has been taken away from you. or your phone is missing, or you are trying to make a phone call, but it didn't go through, it means the spirit of backwardness. If God doesn't want your destiny to go backwards, why didn't Jesus use a city donkey, but he had to deliver a village donkey? Because although it was a village donkey, the donkey was needed in the city. Tell somebody you are useful.
You are useful.
Let me give you last two. There are plenty. You always find yourself staying and around your old house. You used to stay inside. You've left there many years, but always you are there. You always dream and see yourself in the old school you used to be at class 1. Still, what are you doing there? And this one is a physical one. Physically, you dream. This is physically, you dream. Physically, you dream. Sorry, this one is not dream, but physical, you'll be there. Then you see that your mind is still cast when you were young. Always, your mind is at where you were young. It is the agenda to take a person backwards. Now, when the person find themselves, get me a man of God for an illustration. Protocol come. Now, when a person find themselves like a donkey, this is the scenario. I want you to please go down small. You're not a donkey, but an illustration. The Bible says Jesus said to the disciples, go to the village and bring the donkey. Now, the donkey Jesus is talking about is not an animal. It's a human being. How do I prove it? Let me prove it to you. When we went to school in class 1 and class 2, our teachers taught us something that was called a noun. Say a noun.
No.
Pastor Daniel, what is a noun? A noun is a name of a person, a place, an animal, or a thing. Oh, wow, you are great. You know that when you are young, your subconscious mind is so sharp. You still remember. What they taught you in university, you have forgotten. Satana Jonah say. Now, so when they taught us a noun, then the teacher also taught us something. It's called a pronoun. What's a pronoun? A pronoun is used in place of a noun. So, clear example. When I see Pastor Joseph and I want to call him by a pronoun, I will not say Joseph. I'll call him or he. Is that okay?
Right.
Because the he or the him represent Pastor Joseph. But when I see an animal, a cat, I'm supposed to call a cat. Clap your hands for yourself. But Jesus, when he was talking about the donkey, Luke chapter 19, verse number 30, KGV, he didn't say and call the donkey an it. He called the donkey him. So if Jesus calls the donkey him, he's not talking about an it of a donkey. He's talking about you. Thank you very much. I'm trying my best. That's what I was about to do. Look at it. Saying, go ye into the village against of you, in which at your entering you shall find a young donkey tied, a colt, young donkey, whereon no man has sat. Look at what Jesus said. Loose him and bring him. Jesus, didn't you go to school? Jesus, didn't you have a class 1 teacher? Jesus, didn't you have Mr. Owusu or Mr. Abuaji in your class? Every school has Mr. Owusu. Am I saying the truth? And those on the way they can meet you. Meboa. Jesus Christ. A spiritual principle be. But Jesus knows more than us. So Jesus says, you will take a donkey, but don't bring it, bring him. So the donkey is not an animal he's talking about. It's a human being that has been tied in the village. So the Hosanna, listen, everything you see in the Bible is a reflection of your life. It's not for an animal, it's for you. So a human being is tied at the village. Number 2, look at it. When the donkey was tied at the village, verse 31, Jesus said, when anybody asks you, tell the person the Lord needs it. Then in verse 33, look at something. In verse 33, whilst, so this man is about to lose the donkey. Give me the ushers cloth, the protocol's cloth. Jesus is about to lose the donkey. So look at something. So this is the donkey. I'll be with you in 15 minutes and you'll see something strange. One sermon but different revelations. So Jesus Christ said, loose. But it says when the man was about to lose, another man, that is the owner, the owner came and asked him. So he's trying to lose it, and the owner is fighting him. Now, somebody hear me. Hear me. This man is the owner. Somebody wants to lose it. But the answer that was given was that the master needs it. So the owner says, why are you losing it? It means you have difference between owner and a master. The owner means they own you in the family. But the master said, I can control you.
My God, my God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The owner means there's a principality that controls the family, but a master says, I can take over the principality. Any principality in your father's house, any principality that is working in your bloodline. Yes, I know they own you, but there is a master that can take over.
Yes, Lord.
Now look at the Message Bible of what it says his master needs him. Very, very quick. Let's go. Now look at it now. They said his master needs him. The Bible only didn't say the master. The Bible didn't say a master. The Bible says his master. So, Mr. Owner, we know you are the owner, but there is another master. Pastor Daniel, what's the difference between owner and a master? Can I explain to you? Owner simply means right down from your infancy, they know you. You are for them. But a master is someone who is saying that I know you own them, but I can take control from today. It means there's a principality that has been working against your life for a long time.
Jesus.
But a new master is out.
Yes, Lord. Jesus. My God.
So let me explain to you. So there's a sickness that has stayed in your life from your infancy. It is an honor. But a master is a new one who is saying that sickness, you have been the owner of the kidneys, but I'm about to take charge. Let the altar stop every owner. Say, I stop the owner.
I stop the owner.
Now, man of God, if you now know the owner, it gets me to my next point. The owner right now in this context is called a strong man. What's a strong man? A strong man is any entity that controls you to make sure you don't move forward. It's called a strong one. So Jesus said, before a person can take possessions in life, they are supposed to bind the strong man. 12:29 Matthew. Give it to me. Look at it. It says, oh, again, how can anyone enter a strong man's house and carry off his possession unless he first ties up what?
Strong.
Ties what?
The strong man.
So hear me. If you want to take your possession, you need to tie the strong man. Now the word over here, people think you are going there to take the strong man's possessions. The possession there is not the strong man's possessions. It's your own possession. Do you know the reason? Because the strong man is the devil. And the devil is the thief. And anything any thief has is not for them. When you see a thief driving a car, is it his car? So if a thief has possessions, it is for you. But before you do, bind the strong man. And that is called the owner. Pastor Daniel, what is a strong man? What is a spiritual owner? And what do they do? Are you ready? Let me give it to you. Number one, the assignments to be the man of God. I'm coming. This is the assignment of the owner. They make sure you don't live where you are. Because the donkey is about to leave, but the owner was saying no. Number two, they don't want you to grow in destiny. Number three, they don't want you to see progress. The strong man don't want to see progress. The next one, and this one is the most serious one. They make sure you don't become useful. Let me explain to you. A donkey in those days was a means of transportation. Those days, there was no Bentley, there was no Rolls Royce, there was no Toyota, there was no Lexus, there was no DB9, there was no Continental GT, there was nothing. What they had was a donkey. So a donkey was a means of transportation. But now, this particular donkey, every other donkey is gone, but this one is there. So the owner made sure that the donkey was not useful. Who is trying to render you useless?
Jesus.
Can I ask the question again?
Yes, sir.
You know you carry so much potential, but nobody wants to be with you. Nobody wants to be around you. They see you as a nobody. You know you carry something, but nobody wants to come around you. It's the assignment of the owner and the strong man. But we are coming after it.
Yes, Lord.
We are coming after it.
Yes, Lord.
Let me continue. Can I continue? They always don't want you to make a move. Because when the donkey was about to make a move, the owner showed up. And there's the next one. They make sure you are not relevant. They make sure you are not relevant. Or you are not recognized. Now let me tell you what some of the things that a strong man can do to a person. They always come after your destiny helpers. Because when the helper, the master, was about to help the donkey, the strong man said, "What are you doing?" So let me tell you what they do. When somebody promises to help you, all of a sudden, all their businesses will collapse. When somebody promises you, all of a sudden, there's a tension between you and the person. When somebody wants to come and buy your property, all of a sudden, then the Juma say, it's called the power of the demonic strong man. And sometimes they reveal themselves to your helpers in the dream to warn you, not for you to be helped. A girl that was going to marry a guy, the boyfriend had a dream, and the girl said, "I will kill you." The boyfriend is now afraid of the girl. He's the strong man. And let me advise you, in the spiritual realm, when demons want to have a meeting, they normally sit down and have their meetings in the villages. So I'm not talking about your village over there. Now I've shown you what a village is. Let me prove to you. When Nehemiah wanted to build a wall, do you all remember the story?
That's right.
And Sanballat and Tobiah said, "We will not let you build a wall." Well, let me tell you what they did. They sat in a village to arrange a meeting for Nehemiah to go. But because Nehemiah was a spiritual man, he said, "I will not come to the village." So sometimes, if they want to kill a person, they invite the person in the village.
My God.
And I'm trying my best. And after you leave the village, something happens. Let me prove. Nehemiah chapter 6, verse number 2. The best church to hear the best word of God. Look at it right now. Sanballat and Geshem sent me this message. "Come, let us meet together in one of the villages on the plain of honor." But they were scheming to harm me. So sometimes when you are there, they call you, "Come for the funeral, come for something at the village." Be spiritual first. Because although, look at it, they said, "Come for a meeting," but it was to harm. So it's not every meeting that is a meeting. Some meetings are harms.
Jesus.
Let me give you a second revelation. Villages have voices, and villages can talk. So let me tell you what villages does. Villages, when they are talking, they can scream to call you to come. So somebody can be there, they are in Accra. They don't want to go anywhere, but sometimes telling them, come. Then they will go. Then something will happen. Villages have voices. Towns have voices. Spinters Road has a voice. And the voice is two things. The voice is either speaking for you or against you. So anytime you go and live at a place for the first time, you have to speak to the voice of the place and say, "Speak for me." That's why there's some places in Ghana here. When you go and stay there, when you are broke, you become rich. There's some places too, when you have money, when you go there, you become broke. Because there's a voice that is speaking. Man of God, how do you know that towns have voices? 42 verse 11 Isaiah. Let me prove to you. I love the Bible. I know Bible. Let's go. Let the wilderness and the cities lift up their voice, and the villages. Let's go to NIV. So villages, wilderness, cities, they have voices. Look at it. Let the wilderness and the towns raise their voices. So hear me. If a town has a voice, then a house also has a voice. Let me tell you one of the voices that is dangerous in life. The voice of a church building. Every church building has a voice. So when Solomon was dedicating the temple, a prayer was made and said, "God, if your people sin against you and they come to this place, just let the temple remember them." So that's why anytime a cathedral is being built and you are part of it, you're part of it. Anytime he's speaking, he speaks for you. Because buildings have voices.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hear me. Buildings have spirit. Let me prove to you. Can I prove to you? Your room. Where you stay, your room. Not your living room, your room, bedroom. Leave your bedroom for 7 days. stay in your living room or other guest rooms in the house. After 7 days, go back to your room. You will see cobweb. You will see ants. You will see dust. Okay, now let me show you another thing to prove to you. Now, the same room you left there for 7 days, that it became like that. Now, stay in that room for 12 days without sweeping there. There will be no.
Jesus.
I said, I didn't ask you to sweep. Don't sweep there. Don't do anything there. Cobweb will not come. But when you even live there, 7 days is too more. When you leave the room for only 2 days, come and see something. Because rooms are spirits. And they carry something. And they carry voices. So towns, they can call people. So when you are there and you hear a voice, go somewhere. Ask God, God, is this voice from you or not from you? The house you are staying in right now, have you spoken on the voice of the house to speak for you? When you went over there, you did a housewarming party. Everybody came to dance with you. Did you declare that, God, let the voice of the house speak for me? Or after dancing at Zonto, you went to sleep? There are some houses, when you go and stay there, everything around you collapses. It's a voice of the house. Because if a city, listen, when a town has a voice, a house has a voice. Do you know the reason? Because towns are not towns until there are houses. So, hear me. In the Bible speaks about 10 leprous people. Do you remember Jesus? Sure. 10 leprous people that were having leprosy. Do you know the story? They were in the village. They were in the city, but the moment they became leprosy, the village called them. So the village is always calling people to go backwards when they are sick. That's why somebody can be strong in Accra. After they fall sick, everybody will say, okay, let's take this person back to the village. I reverse the power. Hear me.
Yes, Lord.
These are mysteries and revelations that God gives to me to give to people. That's why instead of me wasting good preaching time to preach you about tithe, I'll not preach to you about tithe. I'll give you this mystery that will change your destiny. Because as for tithe, you know that when you give, God will bless you. Why should I waste good preaching time and tell you, give your 10% to God? You already know from Sunday School 101. And you know people who gave to give your tithe and God made them millionaires. Do you need another person to preach you? That's why there are some principles that we are more matured for those principles that will change your destiny for good. But these mysteries, they come by they are prophetic secrets that have to be unveiled for people to know. If you know some of these secrets, it will help you. Having said all this, Pastor Daniel, I know you have said all these things. But if you don't give me the solution, you have only come to me to scare me. Pastor Daniel, what are the solutions? What am I supposed to do to avoid and overcome the strong man that wants to keep my destiny in the village? Are you ready? I'm going to give you about 5. Then I'll give you 2 prophetic directions to do. Number 1, you need to overcome the owner. Because when the owner was trying, the owner couldn't. Say, I overcome the owner.
I overcome the owner.
Now, number 2, can I continue? Overrule the voice of the owner. The owner said, where are you taking it? Then they said, the master needs it. Their voice was more than the voice of the owner. Number 3, overcome and overrule the decision of the owner. When the demonic owner in your family makes a decision, overcome it.
Yes, Lord.
And I like the number 4. Can I give number 4? Oh, can I get number 4? Take God as your master. Sister, take God as your master. In other words, let the master sit on you. Pastor Daniel, what is the meaning of the master Jesus sitting on me? Without Jesus sitting on me, I will still be at the village. But when he sits on me, I will be in the city in Jerusalem. For the women to put their cloth on there, for me to walk on it. Pastor Daniel, what is the meaning for Jesus sitting on me? This is the meaning. Be close to Jesus. Because when Jesus is sitting on you, you are in close proximity. How do I become close to Jesus for the master to sit on me? Number 1, I need to be prayerful. 2, be serious with my Christian life. 3, I need to be fasting. 4, I need to be reading the word of God. And the last one, I'm supposed to be a kingdom giver. When I give my tithe, he's sitting on me. When I give my offerings, he's sitting on me. When I come and they tell me, come and drop seed on the altar, it's causing him to sit on me more. Because my money is my blood. And my blood on the altar, he means his blood is close to me. So the Savior sitting on you. When you do all this, your spiritual Christian ordinances, it changes your destiny. And now, Pastor Daniel, what are the prophetic directions? I'm giving you 2 for you to do to lose yourself. Because all these things I'm telling you, do you know that if when this particular donkey was at the village, the donkey could have moved. Do you know the reason why the donkey couldn't move? It was tied. So how do I lose myself? Number 1, 2 directions. Number 1, anoint your neck with olive oil. Anoint your hands and anoint your feet. Your hands is your shoulder. Let me prove to you. Isaiah 10:27, KJV. Look at it now. KJV, let's go. It says, and it shall come to pass on that day. Can I pause it to declare? Today is that day.
Amen.
Today is that day.
Amen.
Today is that day.
Amen.
Today is that day.
Yes, Lord.
It shall come to pass that on that day, his burden shall be taken off from thy shoulder. And his yoke from where?
The neck.
From where?
Thy neck.
From where?
Thy neck.
And the yoke shall be broken, destroyed because of the
anointing.
So when I take the anointing, when I anoint my feet, I anoint my hands, and anoint my neck, he breaks off the chain from me. Because anytime they want to tie anything at all, they tie the neck and they tie the feet. And as a human being, they tie the hands. That's why it will break it off the shoulder. So when anointing comes on you, it breaks you. It causes you to be fat in the spiritual realm. It causes you to be fat in the spiritual realm. Do you know the reason why they can't control you anymore? In the spiritual realm, when you are anointed, it means you are becoming fat, strong. Yeah. Give me the same test. Give me the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, NIV, NLT. Give me the NIV version. The last part, look at it right now. Look at it. Look at it. Their yoke from your neck, the yoke will be broken because you have grown so
fat.
Clap your hands. So when anointing comes from the person, the spiritual realm, you are powerful, you are strong. So that's the first direction. Now this is the second direction to do. And you give me the test whether I requested. But when I say then you give me the test of the stones. Okay, hold on from now. Look at it. Now this is the next direction. Can I tell you the next direction? You take 7 stones and you will anoint it. You will stand at any junction and you say, like God, let this junction represent any spiritual village where they have tied my destiny. Then you take the stones and you throw them. When you throw the stone, you are fighting a strong man, and the strong man is a Goliath. So why did David defeat Goliath? He defeated Goliath because of the stone. But Daniel, why the stone is there? When they were shouting Hosanna, the Pharisees said, hey, why are you shouting? Jesus said, hey, if you tell them to be keep quiet, the stones will cry out. It means if you stop them, the stones can do the talking. So when I take the stone and I anoint it in the spiritual realm, it's so stones in the spiritual realm, they defeat the enemy. Now, somebody here will argue on the facts and say, Pastor Daniel, but David killed Goliath with 5 stones. Why are you telling us to defeat the enemy with 7 stones? Can I prove to you? David defeated Goliath with 5 stones because at that time, in David's time, Jesus was not there. So when he took the 5 stones, it was Jesus representing Jesus. But you and I right now, Jesus lives inside of us. And we are using the grace of perfection. So the number 7 means perfection. So I told you to take 7 stones to perfect my life. So after I defeat the enemy, my life is perfected. Tell somebody the 7 stones.
7 stones.
Listen, if you do this, the reason why this commission, we have results. God works here because we know spiritual dimensions. So you not just come to me and tell you, go and pick 7 stones from the compound, anointed. You think it's a joke and we are playing here. No, we know the mysteries behind it. Now let me give you the last point. Can I give it to you? Do you know that anybody that has, let me see anybody here that has a pet in their house. You have a dog, a cat, an animal, parrot. Let me see my hand. Yeah. Now, do you know that when anybody has an animal in their house, they put a name on them, right? When somebody has an animal in their house, they put a name on them. Now, And those who have a lot of animals, like donkeys and the rest, they also name them. One day I went to a place, going to visit somebody. When I got there, they were calling their dog, Daniel. I got there as auntie, I'll not pray for you. You name your dog Daniel, I'll not pray for you. He said, oh, we have known the dog Daniel 12 years ago. I said, no, because I'm Daniel and I'm here. No, I'll not pray for you again. Now, every animal has a name. So this particular donkey, in the days of Jesus, this donkey that was left alone had a name. Do you know the name? Oh, you don't know the name? The name of that particular donkey was called Abubuya. So let me explain to you. So do you know that anybody who owns a lot of animals and the donkeys, nobody owned one donkey, everybody had a lot of donkeys. So in the morning, all the donkeys will go to job. It's like you're having Uber cars. All of them will go to work, and one of them, only this one was waiting. But when Jesus the master sat on this donkey and they were in the city of Jerusalem, then the other donkeys that left the house in the morning saw Abubuya and said, Abubuya, we left you in the village. What are you doing here? And Abubuya said, I was just there. Then a master came. When he came, I don't know where he came from. Jesus. He only sat on me, and right now all the women are putting their cloth on the ground, yes, and I'm stepping on the ground, and now I'm walking on a red carpet. Can I speak to somebody? Those who left you somewhere, Jesus, they will not come and meet you over there. Yes, they are about to meet you on another dimension. Yes, they will not find you the same way they left you. Yes, how they left you will not be the same. Yes, there's going to be a change and a turnaround. Say, hey! You will not find me.
You will not find
how
me.
You left me.
How you left me.